So remember the length of a bar, okay, of a straight bar. It is the length, this thing, plus the length of these two hooks. So the length of your each hook is 9 times the diameter. Okay, remember this. So into 2 because we have two hooks. So the length of the total bar will be this length plus 18 times the diameter. So keep in mind this 18 times diameter that is required for both the side. Okay, hooks for length of a hooks on both the sides. Then extra length because of this cranking. So that extra length is equals to 0.42d. Okay, remember 0.42d, the extra length that is required because of this cranking up. Then if you have a two-side crank, then it will be 2 times into 0.42d. Then we have this for length of your stirrup. So it will be 2 times a plus b. So a is this, b is here, a is here, and b is here. Then this 24 times diameter is your overlapping. Okay, for overlapping because of this extra thing here that you need to do over here so that your stirrups do not open up. So this is 24 times your diameter of your stirrup. So remember this. So 18 times diameter, then 0.42d and 24 times your diameter. So remember these three things that we will be requiring now. So this is your double-sided cranked up bar, right? Double-sided cranked up bar. This is your single-sided cranked up bar. Only one side is cranked. Okay. So in the previous class we have discussed this numerical. That is a simple beam. Okay. Now we will look into this T-beam. So in the figure 1.44, that is this figure, it shows a typical RCC beam. Okay. So this is the longitudinal section. We need to calculate the steel required for the beam diameter wise. Okay, we need to calculate the steel. Also, we'll look into the calculation of quantity of your concrete. So they have given us the weight of each diameter bar. Okay, weight per meter of each bar. So no need to calculate. So our step which we used to do, pi by 162, pi by 162.2 to get your weight per meter, right? To get our weight per meter. So this is no need to calculate this. They have directly given us the weight in kg per meter of each of your bars. So they may give or they may not give this. So you need to remember that formula 5 by 162.2. So let us look into this cross section of your longitudinal section of your beam. So this is a longitudinal section. This is our cross section. You can observe. This is your beam. Okay, this is your beam, and we have this bar. Okay, at the top. So these are usually your hanger bars, right? Hanger bars at the top. So they are 2 bars of 16 diameter and 1 bar of 12. Okay, 1 bar of 12 mm in diameter. So let us look into the cross section. You will understand. So 2 bars of 16 diameter, that is here at the ends. One is here and one is here, and 1 bar of 12 mm diameter, that is at the center. Okay, one bar of 12 mm diameter, that is at the center. So next, so we are done with this bar. So coming to our bottom bar over here, this bar. So this is also straight, no cranking up. So it is straight. So it is 2 bars of 20 mm diameter plus 1 bar of 16 mm diameter. Similar way we are arranging. So 2 bars of 20 mm diameter are arranged at the sides, and 1 bar of 16 is arranged at the center, or it is placed at the center. So the overall depth of this beam is 600 mm. Okay, overall depth of this beam is 600 mm, including the covers, and the width of your beam, including your covers, is 230 mm. 230 mm. So this is regarding our cross section. So we can see we have these extra bars over here, 3 bars of 20 mm diameter and 3 bars of 25 mm diameter. Those are these straight bars. You can see at the top we have 3 bars of 20 mm diameter, but they are not going throughout your beam. So they are only 3 meter long, starting from here, ending here. So it is only 3 meter. Okay. And at the bottom also you can observe we have this bar which is 3 bars of 25 mm diameter, and it is 4.5 meter in length. They are not going throughout, they are only placed over here. because at the central span we have more stresses. So coming to some beam dimensions, So this overall depth is 600, okay, overall depth, this is 600, as you have seen in the cross section. Then this bearing, okay, this bearing, you can observe it is 0.5 meter. Bearing is 0.5 meter this side, and also this support or your bearing is 0.5 meter. Then this hook length they have already given, no need to calculate the length. Hook length, it is already given as 0.2 meter. This is 0.2 meter, this is 0.2 meter. Similarly, this will be 0.2 and this will be 0.2. So the next thing you can observe, that the stirrups spacing is different. Okay, stirrup spacing, it is different in different sections of your beam. At the center, you can observe the spacing is more, and at the edges or at the bearings, you can see that your stirrups are closely spaced, right? So why is the spacing varying like that? Why is the spacing varying? Can anyone justify why that spacing is varying? It is more at the center and it is spacing is less at your supports. Why is that? Any idea?
The load is transferred at end sections.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
At the end of beam, sir, load will be transferred more, sir.
Yes, exactly. So at the supports, right, your shear force will be more, right? At the supports, the shear force will be more. So what we need to do is we need to provide extra reinforcement here. So the spacing is less, and at the center span, the shear force will be lesser compared to your support. So spacing can be reduced over here. You can provide extra spacing like that. You can provide regularly the same spacing, but it will not be economic, right? We can save some reinforcement. What we do is we change our reinforcement spacing over here in the center. Okay. So at this center, okay, at this center, the spacing is more, and at the edges, the spacing is different. So that spacing is mentioned over here. You can observe the stirrups over here are two-legged 8 mm diameter bars. Okay, two-legged 8 mm diameter bars, and the spacing is 150 mm center to center. So it is starting from here. Okay, starting from here and ending to here. Then at the edges, I mean at the supports, the stirrups are two-legged 8 mm diameter, and this spacing is 100 mm. Okay, 100 mm center to center. So starting from here and going up to here, that is your stirrups. They start from here and end here. So this is the stirrup. So 100 mm at the supports and 150 mm at the center. So remember this. So this is 1.5 meter in length. 1.5 meter in length. This is also 1.5 meter in length, and the center span is 4.15 meter. 4.15 meter. So we will be using these distances to calculate your number of stirrups. Okay, to calculate the number of stirrups. This spacing is required. Then now let us look into what all we need to calculate. We can calculate the quantity of your concrete quantity we can calculate. That is volume into density. If you do, you get your this thing. What do you get? You get your quantity of your concrete. Then we need to calculate the length of this straight bar, length of this top straight bar, right? That we need to calculate. Then the length of this bottom straight bar we need to calculate. So it will be same what is at your top, the same length will be at the bottom. Yeah, if you calculate one, we will be calculating for both. So that is done. So no cranked up bar, so no need to calculate for any cranking length. Then we need to calculate the length of this bar length. So it is directly given as 3 meters, so no need to calculate anything. So and the bottom bar is 4.5 meter long, so that is done. So now next thing we need to calculate the length of your stirrups. Okay, length of your stirrups and the number of stirrups required. So if you do all of these things which I mentioned now, so this numerical will be over. You need to calculate all those things, and you need to prepare a bar bending schedule. Okay, so that is regarding this numerical. Let us look into in detail how we do all those things. top and bottom cover, okay, top and bottom cover is not given. So in the previous numerical also, the top and bottom cover were not given. So usually we assume a cover of 25 mm for beams, okay. So that is the thing. So in the previous numerical, we have assumed a cover of 25 mm. Similarly, here also we will assume a cover of 25 mm, right? So that is there. So you can observe here 25 mm cover we have assumed. So because this cover is not given, we can assume 25 mm cover. So okay. So next thing we'll look into. I hope the cross section is clear. Okay, I hope the cross section is clear. So this cross section is at XX, meaning the cross section is at here. Okay, XX section is over here. So it will include your top bars, your this 3 meter extra bar at the top, 4.5 meter long extra bar at the bottom, and this main bars. So all of this is done. So this section is clear. I hope this section is clear. So moving on to the solution. Moving on to solution. So length of the straight bars, I have told you we need to calculate the length of straight bars. So at the bottom and at the top, both are same, no cranked up bars. So directly you can calculate the length of your straight bar. So let me just show you over here. So length of straight bars start from here, right? It starts from here and it ends here. So this center to center, we have 7.65. So we need to add this bearing, half of this bearing over here, which is 250 mm, and then half of your bearing here, that is 250 mm we need to add. Then you need to minus this cover, okay, minus this cover over here 25 mm, minus this cover over here 25 mm, right? So we'll get your straight length, right? Then what you need to do, you need to add this hook length, that is 0.2 over here and 0.2 over here. So you get the total length of your bar. So that is what is given over here, right? 7650 center to center length plus your two bearings. Then this is for your cover, reduction for your cover, plus 2 for your 2 into 200 for your hook length, right, which they have given. So you get the total length of a straight bar as 8.5 meter. Okay, so this is done. Then top bar and bottom bar are same. So length of your bars are the same at the top and bottom. So we are done with this. So now the main thing is length of your stirrups, length of your stirrups. So it will be length this A. So this is A and then this is B. So 2 times. So A is 2 times over here and B is also 2 times. So 2 times A plus B plus 24 diameter, 24 into diameter of your stirrup. That is for this hook length. Yeah, for this hook length. So this A distance will be minus your cover, right? Minus your cover and half of your diameter minus here and half of your diameter of a stirrup over here. So width of my overall beam is 230 mm, right? In the cross section you have seen, and then minus 2 times cover on each side, minus cover over here, minus cover on this side. And then half of your diameter you need to reduce over here. Half of your diameter you need to reduce here because A and B are center to center length. Okay, they are center to center length. So you need to consider from the center of your stirrup. So it will be minus 8 by 2 and minus 8 by 2. So directly they have written minus 8. Okay, so A is 172. Similarly, B you can calculate, right? Starting from this and ending at here, center to center length. So it is 542. Then you can calculate this length of your stirrup. So it is 1.62. By substituting in this formula, you will get this 1.62 meters. So length of stirrup is done. Now the next thing that we are left out with is the number of stirrups. Last thing, right? Number of stirrups is the last thing. So I've told you need to calculate from separately for your center span and then separately for your supports. Right. So this is for a center span. This is for a center span. Sorry, this is for your supports. This is for a supports. And not for center span. This is for a center span. So let me just show you here. The length will be, I've told you the length will be starting from here. Okay, for your supports, the stirrups will start from here and end over here. So you need to calculate this length. Okay, starting from here and here, ending till here. So we know this is 1.5 till here, 1.5. So you need to add this bearing length, that is 0.5, and then reduce your cover. Right, reduce your cover. So you will get your length that is required for your spacing. Then this is on one side, and you have same thing on the other side, right? You have same thing on the other side. So you have to multiply that by 2 because we have one side over here and second one over here. So the length will be 1.5 plus 0.5 minus 0.025. That is your cover minus your cover. So 1500 plus 500 minus 25. So that is your length into 2, right? Divided by the, that you need to multiply 2 afterwards. So that is the length of your stirrup spacing, and then the spacing which is given S. So the spacing is given 100 mm. So this length which we have calculated, you have to divide by 100 mm, and then overall you have to multiply that by 2. So you'll get a number of stirrups. So that is what we have done over here, right? So do not follow this. So use this over here. In the place of numerator, you need to substitute this. So 1500 plus 500 minus cover divided by 100, which is the spacing, into 2. This is for end portion. And then for central portion, this calculation, no need of doing this calculation. Here you can observe the span, right? It is 4.15. So directly substitute 4150, right? 4150, and then divide by 150 mm, which is your spacing, right? So length is directly given here. So this is the length, right? And then divide by spacing, that is there, and no need to multiply 2 because it is only 1. So divide by 150, and then you need to add 1. You need to add 1 compulsorily whenever you want to calculate the number of stirrups. Okay. So the number of stirrups you get is 69, okay, not 59, because they have used 1500, which is wrong. So if you use this, right, if you use this, you will get the number of stirrups as 69. Okay, we will use 69 number of stirrups. So moving on to the table, I hope all the calculation is clear. Okay, I hope all the calculation is clear. If you have any doubts, if you want me to explain any of the things, please let me know. Okay, so next thing is preparing your schedule. Okay, preparing your schedule. So your top bar and your bottom bar are same. Length are same, but the diameters are different, right? Diameters are different. So we'll start with the bottom bar. We'll start with the bottom bar. So 2 number of 20 mm diameter bar plus 1 number of 16 mm diameter bar. That is placed at your bottom, right? So we will write separately for diameter, right? Like this, we will write 20, then 16. So larger one you write at the top, and shorter and the smaller diameter one you write at the bottom. Then this is number 2 number that right at the ends you have 2 number of 20 mm diameter, and at the center you have 16 mm diameter bar. So this is at the bottom. Then the length we have calculated 8.5, and then weight per kg is directly given in your problem statement. So that you write over here. Then when you multiply number into length into weight, you get your quantity in kg. You get your quantity in kg. Similarly for this 16 mm diameter you can do. And then for your bottom extra bar, okay, bottom there is one extra bar, right? So that is 4.5 meter in length, which you can see in your longitudinal section. Diameter of that bar is 25 mm, and 3 number of bars are provided. So this is also given, so you can get the quantity in kg. So moving on, after we have done with the bottom bars, we can go ahead with your top bars. Okay, we will calculate for top bars. Similarly, as you have calculated for bottom bars, 2 bars of 16 mm diameter at the ends, and 1 bar of 12 mm diameter at the center. Okay, 1 bar of 12 mm at the center. So diameter you can write the number, and then this is your length of your bar, and then this is the weight per meter which is given. You can calculate this, and then top bar 3 bars extra at the top we have been given at 20 mm diameter, 3 bars of 3 meter in length. Then stirrups we have calculated number of stirrups is this is 69, and then this is 8 mm diameter stirrup, and then the length of each stirrup is 1.62. This is the weight per meter. You will get all these quantities in kg. Summation of all these quantities will give you the total quantity of steel that is required. It is 202 kgs. Okay, for one beam you can observe, for a single beam of almost 8 meter span, 8 meter length. So the steel that you require is 200 kilos. 200 kilos of steel is required. So this is a numerical regarding beam. So if you have any doubts, please feel free to ask. Okay, so this is a very simple one wherein we do not have any cranked up bars. Okay, we do not have any like this type of cranked up bars. which we had in the first numerical, right? This is very easy when there is no cranking up. So whenever you have a cranked up bar, you need to mention them separately. Okay, do not forget to mention them separately. So I hope this is clear. So moving on to next thing, that is we will look into the calculation of a slab. Okay, calculation of your reinforcement in slab. So very important. So engineers usually go for a slab checking, right? Reinforcement checking for slab before the casting of your slab concrete. No, before that is done, usually structural engineers who have given the structural design, they usually go for the slab reinforcement checking. So you need to be thorough with this, because it is very confusing if you just go through. So you need to properly understand where these cranked up bars are, what is the length of these cranked up bars, what is the length of your cranking up. Then extra bars will be provided at some places. So you need to understand all those things. So initially it will be a bit confusing, but later on you will properly understand. So this is a very simple slab. Okay, a very simple slab. You can see. So cross section is given along the longer span. Also the cross section along the shorter span is given. Okay, so we need to calculate all the reinforcement details of this slab. So we need to calculate work out the quantity of M20 cement concrete and reinforcement in a two-way slab. Okay, this is a two-way slab of the following details. So the size of the room is 5 meter by 4 meter. Okay. So you can observe here, the longer span is 5 meter and the shorter span is 4 meter. So it is in to in. Okay, it is in to in without considering your bearings. Okay. So size of room is 5 meter by 4 meter. Thickness of a slab is 150 meter, and then reinforcement 12 mm dia bars at 150 mm center to center both directions. Okay, 12 mm dia bars, 150 mm center to center both directions. Okay, so bars are same in both the directions. Okay, longer span, shorter span, bars are same. Usually what we do is we provide larger diameter bars along the shorter span, and the longer span we provide the smaller diameter bars. So, but here they have provided similar, because it is a two-way slab, right? In one-way slab we have to provide separately in for longer and shorter span, but in two-way slab, because the distribution of a loads is almost similar in both the directions, what they have done is they have used same diameter bars in both the directions, and also the spacing is same. So next thing they have mentioned is alternate bars are cranked up. Okay, alternate bars are cranked up, meaning you can observe here one bar is straight and one bar is cranked up. Again, one bar will be straight and then one bar will be cranked up. So in the shorter span also, one bar you can observe is straight and second bar is cranked up bar. So that is given alternately. So that is mentioned over here. So the clear cover at top and bottom is 25 mm. The clear cover is 25 mm. Then the development length. Okay, development length. They have given the formula that we need to use. We need to use the development length as 45 mm into diameter of bar. So we'll use this. That is 45 and your 5. So we will use this to calculate your development length. So I hope the problem statement is clear. So let me just explain this cross section. Okay, so this is your plan view. This is your plan view, and as I've told you, this is the reinforcement given in along the longer span. Okay, so this is your longer span, and the reinforcement which is given along the longer span is your reinforcement, which is this, which I am drawing over here. So alternate bars are cranked up. Okay, we need to calculate the length of this straight bar, and then we need to calculate the length of this cranked up bar. Okay, this is for longer span. Then moving on to shorter span. So this is your shorter span, and this is the bar which is provided along your shorter span, So alternate bars are cranked up. So we need to calculate the length of this straight bar, and we need to calculate the length of this cranked up bars. So separately we need to calculate all of this, and then we need to prepare a table. So no stirrups over here. Obviously, this is a slab, so no stirrups. So only your reinforcement bars that we need to calculate over here. So this is the cross section along your longer span, right? So these bars will be at the bottom. Okay, these bars will be at the bottom, and these bars will be at the top. These bars will be at the top. And in your cross section of your shorter span, so these bars which are going in your longer span will be seen in this circular shape, and these bars which are going along your shorter span will be seen as a line, will be seen as a straight line. Okay. So I hope this is clear. So moving on to your calculation part. Moving on to calculation. So they have mentioned that we need to calculate the quantity of M20, right? Quantity of M20 cement concrete. So you need to calculate this along with your reinforcement. So first thing we will calculate is the quantity of your concrete. That is nothing but your volume into density, right? Volume into density. So the length of your slab totally is adding up your bearings, okay? Adding up your bearings. So the length will be 5,400. The breadth of your slab is 4.4 meters, and the depth, okay, the depth of your bar is, sorry, depth of your slab is 150 mm. So this is not 0.5, it is 0.15 meter. So multiplying length into breadth into your depth, and multiplying that by your density of your concrete, that is multiplying that by 24 kilonewton per meter cube. Okay, you will get the total quantity of your M20 concrete. Okay, so this is for quantity of your concrete. Okay, so length into breadth into depth into density of concrete, you get it in kg. Okay, you get the quantity in kg. So moving on to next thing, that is reinforcement bar calculation. So first we will calculate the reinforcement along the longer direction. Okay, along the longer direction. So what I've done is I have drawn this figure over here. You can observe. So these bar we need to calculate length of these bars. So this is your 5 meter length, right? This is the slab length, which is 5 meter, which is the longer length, right? So we need to calculate the bars which are along this longer length, right? Do not be confused whether we need to calculate this direction bars or this. So which is the longer length, that length we need to calculate. So we have straight bars, we have cranked up bars. So we need to calculate separately for straight bar, right? And then we need to calculate separately for bent up bars. So straight bars calculation is easy, right? 5,000, which is into in distance, 5,000. This is your into in distance plus your hook length, plus your hook length. So 2 times into 2 times your LD, right? LD, which they have given in a question, is 45 times your diameter, no, development length, right? Development length they have mentioned in question. So because one side over here and one side over here, which is going in your bearing, right? You can observe this is your LD starting from here, right? Ending here over here. So this is your development length. Okay. So two sides, okay, one side over here and one more side at this side. So into 2 we have to do. So you get your total length as 6 meters, right? So something more than 6 meter plus 80 mm. So this is for your straight bars. Now moving on to your cranked up bars. So I've told you extra crank length, right? Extra crank length that we require is 0.42D, 0.42D, and you can observe here. So these are 2 times cranked up, right? One two-sided cranked up bars. So we need to multiply 0.42 by 2. So this is a straight length, and this is the extra length required for cranking. So we need to add this extra length. So what is this D over here? What is this D over here? So I have shown you over here. So this is D. This is D. So this overall is 150. Overall, we know it is 150. So we need to minus cover, right? We need to minus cover. So this is your cover, which is 25. So minus 25 into 2. Then here you need to minus this diameter, half of this diameter, right? Half of this diameter you need to reduce. And here how much you need to reduce? Half of this bar diameter, right? So from center of this bar to center of this bar. So it will be 150 minus 2 times your cover minus 12 by 2 minus 12 by 2, right? So that is what is done over here for calculation, and we get the total depth as 88 mm. Okay, that is the D over here. So you can substitute and you can get the length of your bent up bars. So I've shown you we have how we can calculate the length of a straight bar, as well as how we can calculate the length of our cranked up bar. So you can observe, so length of your straight bar is almost 6 meter, and your length of your cranked up bar or a bent up bar is a bit larger than your straight bar. Okay, so this bearing, okay, 200 mm, we can assume this bearing as 200 mm, right? They have not given us the bearing, the size of our bearing. So you can assume 200 mm thick support, okay? The support size as 200 mm. So we need to calculate the number of bars, right? We need to calculate the number of bars, right? Along this way, we need to calculate how many bars can we fit. Okay, so we need to use 4 meter, right? We do not use 5 meter while calculating the number of bars. We use 4 meter because bars are placed along your 4 meter, right? Not along your this direction. So spacing is 150 mm, right? They have given the spacing as 150 mm. So the overall overall length of your slab is 4 which is in distance 4 meter, plus your bearings on both the sides, right? 200 mm plus 200 mm. So 4 meter in distance plus 0.2 and plus 0.2 will give you 4.4. That is 4,400 meters is the overall length of your slab. So minus the cover, right? Minus this cover over here and minus the cover on the other side, right? Minus the cover on the other side. Suppose this is 4 meters, so minus cover on this side. So this length, overall length is 4,400 minus this 2 times your cover, right? And divided by spacing, and plus 1 always, because we need, whenever you are calculating number of bars, you need to do plus 1. So calculating, you can get that is we get 30 number of bars are required. Okay, 30 number of bars are required. So total number of bars are 30, and in that 30, 15 number of bars are straight bars, and 15 numbers of bars are bent up bars. Okay, so I hope this clear. This part is clear for your longer direction. Similarly, we will calculate for shorter direction. Okay, similarly, we will calculate for shorter direction. So I hope this is clear. Calculation of your reinforcement along longer direction. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know. Okay, so do not confuse this longer direction and shorter direction. This thing, if you understand clearly which bar you need to consider in longer direction and in shorter direction, rest of the things are same, and just calculation part. Yeah, but do not mix up this longer and shorter bars, okay, while calculation.
Sir, I'll density multiply modular, sir, manage.
Our modula, but what you can do is after this meter cube calculation, you can multiply that and you can give them in kg. Okay, you can give the quantity in kg, because while preparing table, all of this in kg, right? All of this is in kg. So cement also calculate. You can say concrete also you can mention in kg, right? So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, just do not leave the session. There is an urgent call coming. Okay, so Aziz has some doubt. So cutting length and actual length of the bar, is it same or different? Right, cutting length will be same. What we have calculated here, right? In the schedule, what we prepare. So that is what we do it for. So we cut it as per the length we have calculated, okay? And then they bend it up. Okay, bending
But
is
sir,
done. Yes.
But sir, if the length will be same, hello sir,
Yes, yes.
sir, if the length will be same, no sir, but while doing the bending, the bar gets stretched, no sir.
Bar gets stressed, but it is very negligible, right? It will not get stressed. It will be almost it will be reduced by some amount. That is very negligible that you can skip. Okay. Because of that bend, you are thinking that because of that bend, no, there will be some change in length, no. So that is
Yes,
very
sir.
negligible. So that is not been accounted for. So that you can neglect.
But sir, in some bar is around 300 mm. It's sir. It, 30 mm or 50 mm, it should be changed, no sir.
30 mm, 50 mm will not change because of bending. If you are
Oh,
asking about your hooks, are you asking about hooks or are you asking about bending?
sir, bending.
Because of bending, right? Because of bending,
In
there
the
will be not much
bent up
change.
bar, sir. Bent up bar, sir.
Right, right. When you bend by up to 90 degrees, no, there will be not much change in length. But if you go for larger bend angle, like if you are bending like almost more than 90 degrees, like 120 degrees, 180 degrees, if you are bending a bar, then we need to
Yes.
consider if you are going for in detail, right? Then you can go for that. But up to 90 degrees, it is fine. You can skip on that. Right, your
Okay, sir.
bent up bars are almost 45 degrees bent, and your stirrups are 90 degrees bent.
Yes.
So you can skip on that. No need to consider that bend length.
Yes, sir.
So I hope this reinforcement along longer direction is clear. Similarly, what we'll do now is we will calculate for shorter direction. Okay, for shorter direction separately for straight bars and separately for bent up bars. So this is your bar. So this is 4 meter, right? This is sorry, this is not 4 meter. So this is 4 meter plus your bearing. Okay, plus your bearings minus cover. Okay, minus cover on both the sides. So along the shorter span, okay, length which is provided along the shorter direction. So calculation of a straight bar similarly 4,000 which is into in distance plus your development length. Okay, development length is 45 times your diameter of your bar. So that we have to multiply twice. Okay, because we have two bearings. So we get your length of your straight bar as 5.08 meters, 5.08 meters. And then length of your bent up bars. Okay, this is not for 4080, it is 5080. Okay, they have by mistakenly printed it wrong. So it is 5080 plus 2 times your this thing cranked up length, okay, plus the crank length, extra length which you require. So 0.42 into d, 0.42 into d. D we have calculated previously as 88 mm. That is same along your shorter direction also, right? So 2 into 0.42 d if you calculate, and if you add that to your straight length, you will get the length of your bent up bars. So length of my bent up bars is 5.15 meters. You can observe here I have written. So it is 5.15 meters. So calculating the number of bars, okay, number of bars. So we need to consider this length, that is 5 meters. 5 meters plus your bearings on each side bearing you need to add. That is 400 mm you need to add, and minus 2 times your cover. Okay, minus 2 times your cover divided by spacing. So spacing is 150 mm, same it is along as your longer direction plus 1. So we get 38 number of bars. So half of the bars will be straight, right, and half of your bars will be bent up bars. So I hope this is clear. So moving on to your table calculation or your table preparation, your schedule preparation. Right, for longer direction you need to mention separately, right, and for shorter direction you need to mention separately. So you can observe here, serial number 1, you have longer direction bars, and under that you have two types. That is first is straight bars, and then you have to mention bent up bars. Okay, dia, number, and then length. Weight per kg you can calculate by that formula, right? 5 squared divided by 162.2. You can use that, and you can calculate this weight per meter, and then you can calculate the quantity in kg. Similarly, you can do that for shorter direction, and then you can get the quantity in kg. Okay, and this is a bar bending schedule. Okay, this is what this is. This is bar bending schedule. So do not mention that concrete. Okay, which we have calculated, right? Do not mention it as 3, and do not mention it over here, because that is you should not mention concrete quantity in your bar quantity. Right? This is only for reinforcement. This table is for reinforcement. So do not mention that over here. You can separately mention it after this table or before this table. You can mention that quantity if you want. Okay, so the total quantity of steel here you can see for your slab. Okay, for a slab which you require is almost 336 kilos, right, for your slab. So the slab size was what? It was for a room of 5 meter by 4 meter. So you can just have an idea. So for a slab of 5 meter by 4 meter, the steel which will be requiring is almost more than 300 kilos. Okay. So this is regarding a slab. So I'll send you a few more numericals for practice for your slab reinforcement calculation, and you can solve those. And if you have any doubts, you can let me know. So can we move on to the next problem, right? If you have any doubts, you can let me know, or else we will just move on to the next problem. Wherein this is a homework problem. You can try and solve this as a homework. And if you have any doubts regarding this, you are free to ask me. Okay, so this is for a homework, and then this is for this numerical is for a isolated footing and column. Okay, combined it is. So we will calculate the reinforcement for your column. Okay, for a column here it is, you can see your column, and then as well as a isolated footing. So this is your isolated footing which is provided for a column. So we will look into how do we calculate the reinforcement and prepare a table for a isolated column with footing. Okay, so we will look into the problem statement. So work out the quantity of M20 concrete, okay, cement concrete quantity we need to calculate, and reinforcement in a isolated footing and column. Okay, isolated footing and column for the following data. So the footing size, okay, this is your footing size. Details of footing, it is 3 meters by 2.5 meter, and this is your thickness of your footing, thickness of the footing. So reinforcement that they have provided in the footing, they have given. So 12 mm dia bars at 250 mm center to center along shorter direction, and 10 mm dia bars at 200 mm center to center along longer direction. So I have just drawn this figure over here so that you have an understanding. So which is the longer direction and which is the shorter direction over here? Which is the longer? This is the longer direction, right? Which you have, which you can see it is longer. So this is 3 meters. This is 3 meters, and then this is how much? This is 2.5 meters. This is 2.5 meters, right? So what they have mentioned, 12 mm dia bars, 12 mm dia bars at 250 mm center to center along shorter direction. Along shorter. So this is along the shorter direction. So this is along the shorter. So this is 12 mm diameter bars, 12 mm dia bars at how much spacing? At 250 mm center to center spacing. 250 mm, right? 250 mm center to center. And then 10 mm dia bars, 10 mm dia bars at 200 mm center to center along longer direction. So this is the longer direction bar, right? This is the longer direction bar. So this is 10 mm in diameter, and the spacing is how much? Spacing is how much? Spacing is 200 mm. Okay, 200. So this is just for your reference which I have drawn. Okay, and then the next thing that they have given is details of your column. So the size of your column is 250 mm by 300 mm. Height of the column, that is 3 meters above the ground level and 0.7 meter below your ground level. So you can observe here. So from here to here, it is 3 meters, that is above your ground level, and below your ground level, the column, this is 0.7. Okay, so that is mentioned over here. You can observe 0.7. And this is your footing depth. Footing depth, it is 0.3. So column in column we have four bars of 16 mm diameter, okay, longitudinal reinforcement, and 8 mm diameter, okay, and 8 mm diameter bars at 250 mm center to center, which are your lateral ties, okay, which are your lateral ties. So this you can observe over here. over here. So these 4 bars of 16 mm diameter are provided at the corners, and the size of our column is 250 by 300, and the stirrup, sorry, or the lateral ties which you provide here, it is of how much? It is of 8 mm diameter, and the spacing over here, right? You can observe the spacing between each lateral tie is 250 mm center to center. Okay, so this is your cross section which they have given of your column and your footing. So you can observe this bars from your column. A bar from your column starts from the top of your column, right? Starts from the top of your column, leaving some cover. Okay, leave some cover at the top, and it continues continuously. It is continuing. It is going into your isolated footing, and it is bent up like this. Okay, you can observe it is bent up, and this bent up length is how much? It is 300 mm. Okay, minimum they have told that we have to bend as 300 mm. We need to provide that length as 300 mm. So at the other side also same, right? Other side also same. And along the, this is along your 3 meter. Also the same will be provided at your 4 meter, sorry, 2.5 meters. So it will be like this somewhat. It will be provided like this. At the top, if you observe, it will be provided like this. Okay, so this is for your extra thing. This is 300 mm in length. Okay, this thing is 300 mm in length. From the top, if you observe, this will be what you will be observing. So that is there. Then next at lateral ties is clear. I hope lateral ties is clear. Then this reinforcement, you can observe this reinforcement is there. So this is for 3 meters. That is your longer span. Okay, this is for longer span. And then these bars, okay, you can observe here, which is seen in circular cross section. That is for a shorter direction. It is shorter direction, which is 12 mm bars, 250 mm center to center. And this 3 meters longer span bars are 10 mm dia bars, 200 mm center to center. So this view I have shown over here, plan view of your isolated footing. Okay, this is for footing, plan view. So I hope this part is clear. So moving on to solution. So M20 concrete, we will calculate quantity of concrete we will calculate. So for footing, we will calculate separately. And then for column, we will calculate separately. So volume, so this is length into breadth into depth. So we get in meter cube. And if you multiply by density, you will get in kg. Next for column, okay, column, the height of your column, it is 3.7 meters, right? 3 meters, right? This 3 meters above ground level and 0.7 meters below your ground level. So 3.7, and this is the cross section of your column, that is 2.25 into 0.3. Then total quantity you can calculate in meter cube, and then if you multiply the total quantity by density of concrete, you will get the quantity in kg. Okay, quantity of M20 concrete in kg. So I hope concrete calculation is clear, very easy, right? Very easy. Moving on to reinforcement calculation, which is the important thing over here. You need to calculate reinforcement. Okay, so if you need a break, just let me know. So, or else if you want me to continue, I will continue with the numerical. So after this, one more numerical is there, and if we finish this and that one more numerical, we will be over with our module. So if you need a break, let me know, or should I continue? Should I continue, or you need a break? You need a break? Just let me know in chat, or you can raise your hand. There is an option to raise your hand, right? Okay, so we will have some 5 minutes break, but do not leave the meeting. Okay, do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting. Do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting. We will meet at 11:30, 11:32, 11:33. We will meet. Okay, we will have a 5 minutes break, and do not leave the meeting. As I'm telling, do not leave the meeting. Stay in the meeting itself. Please keep your mic on mute, and we will meet after 5 minutes. Okay. We shall continue with this numerical. Well, now we will calculate the footing reinforcement that is required. Right, footing reinforcement we will calculate first, and then we will calculate the reinforcement required for your column. Okay, footing separately, column separately. So for footing along the longer direction, right, it is nothing but just like a slab, right? It is just like a slab. So along the longer direction and then along the shorter direction. So you can observe this figure which they have given is for the longer direction, right? 3000 meter, 3000 mm, right? So this minus your two side covers, right? Minus your two side covers you need to do, and then you need to add this hook, right? You need to add this hook length, right? From here to here, this hook length you need to add, right? So two hooks we have, so into two, right? Into hook length. So 3000 minus two side cover into this hook length, how we calculate. Okay, this hook length how we calculate is this overall depth we have as 300 mm, right? 300 mm minus this cover. Okay, minus this cover at the top and minus this cover at the bottom. So we'll get this hook length. Okay, so the depth of footing is 300 minus cover 2 into 50, right? 2 into 50, that is at the top and bottom cover. So you get the length. Okay, you get the length as 3.3 meters. 3.3 meters as the length of this bar. Okay, so this bar is 3.3 meters in length, and this is along the longer direction. So now coming to the spacing or the calculation of your number of bars. Okay, number of bars. So for number of bars, you need to consider the other opposite direction, right? Opposite direction length. So it is 2.5 meters minus 2 covers. Okay, minus 2 covers, that is 50 one side and 50 other side, divided by the spacing of your bars, that is 250 mm, right? Plus 1. Always you have to do plus 1, right? So the number of bars you will get as 11. Okay, number of bars you will get as 11. That is along your longer direction. Along your longer direction. Moving to shorter direction. Okay, moving to shorter direction in your footing. So similarly, you can calculate the length, and then similarly you can calculate the number of bars required. Okay, number of bars required. The only change here is this thing you need to change over here. That is 3000 mm you need to use here, and the length over here is 2.5 meters. 2.5 meters. It is not 3 meters. The rest all things are same. You will get your length and you will get your number of bars. You can observe here it is 11 number of bars, and here in shorter direction it is 16 number of bars. 16 number of bars. And then moving on to your next thing, that is after we are done with your footing, right? We need to calculate the reinforcement in column. We need to calculate the reinforcement column. So the longitudinal direction reinforcement bars, that is your vertical bars. Longitudinal reinforcement meaning this vertical bar that I have shown you in the cross section before. That it starts from the top of our column, goes inside your footing, and then this extra length which is 300 mm. Extra length which is 300 mm. So this total height you need to consider from here to here, and then you need to add this side length, that is 300 mm you need to add. So how can we calculate this length? Okay, how can we calculate this length? So from top, so suppose this is your column, right? So this cover we need to minus over here, and then some footing depth is there, right? This is your footing. So we need to minus some amount over here, right? Some amount we need to minus. So that is how you can calculate. So let us just look into in detail in your cross section. So this length, we know this length we need to calculate, right? This from here up to here we need to calculate the length. So this overall depth, we know overall depth, right? Overall depth is this 3 meters, right? Plus 0.7, right? Plus this 0.3. Yeah, plus 0.3 given here. So this is the overall depth which is still here, right? Which is still here. So we need to minus this length we need to minus, right? At top we have one cover. So minus cover, how much we have assumed? Cover, how much we have assumed? I think we have assumed cover of 50 mm, right? 50 mm cover. So cover at the top, we need to minus 50 and minus 50 cover at the bottom, right? This cover, and then we need to minus this diameter of this bar, right? Diameter of this bar, that is 12 mm, minus 12 mm, minus this bar diameter, minus this bar diameter, which is also 12 mm, right? Then you will get your length of your bar. That is, let me just write. So overall depth of your column is 3 meters, right? 3 meters, which is 3000 mm, 3000 mm, plus this 0.7 and 0.3, which is 1 meter, right? 1000, I'll write directly. Then minus cover at the top, which is 25, sorry, it is 50. And then minus cover at the bottom, which is 50. And then minus this diameter of the bar, that is 12. And then minus diameter of this bar, okay, minus diameter of this bar, which is 10 mm. So this is how you can get the length of your straight bar, okay, length of your straight bar. And to this, okay, and to this, what you need to do, add, we need to add this length, right? We need to add this length, which is 300 mm plus 300 mm. So I hope this calculation is clear. I hope all of this calculation is clear. So this is how you can calculate the length of your longitudinal reinforcement, and they are how many in number? They are 4 in number, right? At each corner you have one bar like this. So overall you have to multiply by 4. This will be later when you prepare your schedule of bar bending, right? We need to multiply this 4, not now. So this is the length of your individual bar, how we can calculate. Okay, so that is what we have done over here. You can observe. So 4.2 is the length of your bar. Okay, this length of this total bar starting from top and going up to here. So now we are left out with lateral ties, right? Lateral ties which are provided like this for your column. So we need to calculate the length of those lateral ties plus the number of lateral ties required, So what we will do is we will assume a cover of 40 mm. Okay, we will assume a cover of 40 mm for your column. Okay, for your column we will assume a cover of 40 mm. Right. So this cover, okay, this side and this side it is 40 mm and 40 mm. Okay, so this side it is 40, this side it is 40. So what we need to calculate? We need to calculate similarly how we have calculated for stirrups, right? Similarly, the same way we need to calculate this A, and then we need to calculate this B, and this is B, this is A. We need to calculate AB similarly, and then we need to calculate this extra, which is your development length, right? Development length that we need to calculate. So that is what is done over here. A, right? A is equals to 250, which is your width of your column, minus 40 cover on each side, and minus a diameter of bar, right? Minus the diameter, which is half of the diameter of this bar, half of the diameter of this bar, right? We need to minus. So we get the A length as 162. Similarly, we will get the length of B, that is this is A, right? This is A, and then this is B. This is B, that is 212 mm. Okay. So this is hook. Okay, this is hook, provided hook of 75 mm. Okay, so 2 hooks we will provide. That is this development length I'm talking about. This development length which we provided so that the lateral ties do not open up. So this length we will consider as 75 mm. This is 75 mm and this is 75 mm. So that is assumed to be 75 mm. So into 2, because we have 2 hooks, right? So the perimeter, that is this length of your lateral ties is totally it is 0.898 meters. Okay, 0.898 meters. So next thing that we need to calculate now is the number of links. Okay, number of lateral ties which are required in your column. So the length of your column we need to calculate first, right? Length of your column, and then divided by spacing. Divided by spacing, we will get the number of links. So what is the length of your column, right? Length of your column, or what is the distance that we provide your stirrups? It starts from here, and it is ending up till here, right? It is going up to here. So that is the length which we have calculated previously, right? The same length, right? Which we have calculated, right? This length which is in the square bracket. So that length we will use and divide that by spacing. And the spacing you can observe here is 250 mm. Okay, divide that length by spacing plus 1. Okay, plus 1, you will get the number of lateral ties required. Number of links that are required is 17 in number. Okay, 17 in number. 17 number of lateral ties. So I hope all the calculation is clear. I hope all the calculation is clear. And similarly, you can prepare this table. You can prepare the table for footing separately, for column separately, and for footing, longer direction, shorter direction separately you need to prepare. And then in column reinforcement, vertical bars, right? That is your longitudinal bars, which is in L shape, and this is your rings, okay, or your lateral ties. Okay, so for that you need to separately write. So this might be given. This weight per kg might be given or might not be given. So you can calculate weight per kg by 5 squared divided by 162.2, wherein 5 is your diameter of your bar. So multiplying number into length into weight, you will get the quantity in kg. So I hope this numerical is clear. If you have any doubts regarding any of the things in this numerical, please let me know. Okay, so this is also easy, very easy, right? No cranked up bars and all those things. So just calculation of your length and then preparing the table. So just basic mathematics, and you need to properly observe from where the bar starts, where the bar ends, right? That thing you need to keep in mind, and then properly assess your covers, right? For columns, we have separate cover. For footing, we have separate cover, right? As you go below, your cover size goes on increasing, I've told you. So for beam, we have assumed a cover of 25 mm. Now for column, we have assumed a cover of 40 mm. And for footing, we have assumed a cover of 50 mm. So properly, you need to assume your covers. Okay, if they do not give you your covers, you need to properly adopt cover sizes. So I hope this is clear. Now one more numerical regarding this column. Okay, similar numerical is there. You can try this for homework. You can try this for homework. You can practice this, and you will get an idea of how to calculate the reinforcement in column as well as footing. You can try this out. I will send this PDF to you. So moving on to last numerical. Okay, moving on to last. So you can observe this is also a column and footing reinforcement calculation, wherein your footing you can observe it is a trapezoidal footing, right? It is a sloped footing and not a rectangular box footing. This is a sloped footing or a trapezoidal footing you can observe, and it is also calculation of your reinforcement in column and footing. So let us read the problem statement first. So prepare a detailed estimate of RCC column and footing. Right, RCC column and footing, you need to calculate detailed estimate from the given drawing. Okay, steel and M20 concrete. Okay, both we need to calculate. We need to calculate concrete quantity as well as steel. Okay, and they should be calculated separately, which they have mentioned. So you can observe this is your beam. Okay, this is your beam, and this is 450 mm in depth. The beam is 450 mm in deep and depth, and then this is your column, which is 3000 mm. Okay, 3000 mm up to ground level, and below ground level it is 600 mm, right? 600 mm below ground level up to this footing, and then 600 mm is the slope length, right? It is the length, vertical slope length. And then this is your footing, right? Up to this it is 150, and this PCC is 20 mm in thickness, 20 mm in thickness. So all of this is given. Then coming to your footing, so 1200, it is the width of your footing in either direction. Okay, either direction it is 1200 mm. Okay, because the column is what it is, the column is square, right? Because the column is square, the footing is also squared. So this is 1200, this is 1200, this is column size is 300 by 300, and if you observe from top, it will be like this, right? It is a trapezoidal or a slope footing, and if you observe from top, you will observe this kind of footing, right? So this is 1200 by 1200 footing size, and then inside, right? Inside, and then this is your PCC, right? PCC, and this is your PCC bed. Okay, So this is 1200 by 1200 and this is 150. Okay, on either side, this is 150. This is also 150. This is also 150. The column size, as I've mentioned, is 300 by 300. So let us look into what are the reinforcement that is provided. So we can see 4 bars of 20 mm diameter, right? 4 bars you can observe here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 bars of 20 mm diameter are provided at each corner. And then looking at your lateral ties, they are 8 mm in diameter and 250 mm in center to center. So lateral ties start from here, okay, start from here and they end over here, and they end over this top of your this bar. So that is for your lateral ties and your column reinforcement. Moving on to footing reinforcement. So footing reinforcement, we have 12 mm dia bars, 120 mm center to center distance in both the ways. Okay, in both the ways, meaning in this direction as well as this direction. Both are 12 mm diameter bars at 120 mm center to center. Okay, so this is regarding your problem statement. So I hope whatever is given is clear. So we'll move on to the solution. So coming to our footing reinforcement calculation, okay, we will calculate the footing reinforcement first, and then we will look onto the concrete calculation. Okay, we will look onto the concrete because it is a trapezoid, right? That is a bit tedious. The first thing we will cover is we will cover your reinforcement calculation. So we'll start from the bottom. We will start for a footing. So the length of your bar, that is this, you can observe here, it is PCC width is 1200 at 1200, but it is offset by 150 mm on each side. So minus 150 by 2, right? Minus 150 by 2, that is 150 here and 150 over here. And then minus 2 side covers, right? 2 side covers. So cover we will assume as 50 mm. Cover we will assume as 50 mm. So minus cover, so this is a cover, right? This is, you can observe here, this is 50 mm on both the sides. And then plus 2 hook length, right? 2 of your hook length over here. This is your hook length. So that you need to do. And that is how you can calculate the length of your footing reinforcement. Okay. So how do you calculate this hook length? So it is this overall depth, which is 150 mm, right? 150 mm is the overall depth. You can see it is 150 mm is overall depth. So from the overall depth, you minus 50 mm cover at the top and minus 50 mm cover at the bottom. Right? Similarly, what you have done in the previous numerical, that is what you do. So neglect this. So this is not required. So you get the length as 900 mm. Okay, length of your bar, which is like this. Okay, your foot. So this is 900 mm, and the number of bars. Okay, number of bars that is required is number of bars which are required. So the length is 1200 mm. Length is 1200 mm. Minus this offset, that is 150 mm on each side, minus your cover. Okay, this is your cover on each side, and this is your offset, right, on each side, divided by number, that is spacing, which is 120 mm, which is given. So you get number of bars as 7.67. So you can assume 8 number of bars. Okay, 8 number of bars. So these are in both directions. Okay, both the directions we have 8 number of bars. So 8 number of bars in this direction and 8 number of bars in this direction. Like this, 8 number of bars are provided, and like this, 8 number of bars are provided. So totally how many number of bars? Totally 16 number of bars, right? Totally 16 number of bars we require in the footing. So we are done with footing calculation, right? Now moving on to column reinforcement. After footing, we'll calculate for column. So I've told you the length of the column from where it starts and where it ends, right? I've told you from where it starts and ends. So once again, I will show you. So it will start from here, right? It will start from here and it will end over here at the top of this bar. So you can calculate this length, and then you can add this 300 mm. Okay, 300 mm you can add. So I'll just tell you how much it is. So you can add 450 plus 3000 plus 600 plus 600 plus 150, right? You will get up to here. Then minus this cover, right? Minus 50, and then minus 50 over here, right? Minus 50 and minus 50 over here. Then this diameter bar you need to minus, right? That is 12 mm you minus, and then this bar diameter you can minus, that is 12 mm. Right. So you will get this length, you will get the straight length, that is from here to here, and then add this 300 mm. Okay, add this 300 mm. So you will get the total length of this longitudinal reinforcement bar. Okay, so how many number of bars? 4 number of bars. Okay, 1 bar at each corner. So that is what is done here. So 5 meter is the overall length of this longitudinal bar. That is what we have done here. Then moving on to the next thing, that is the links, right? Links required for your column. That is this. Okay, you can calculate A, you can calculate B, similarly what we have done in your previous numerical, right? So the overall size of our beam, how much it is? It is 250, right? 300 by 300, sorry, it is 300 by 300. It is a square column. So what we can do is 300 mm, right? 300 mm, it is like this, 300 mm. So minus 2 sides cover, so this cover and this cover you minus, and then this bar diameter half and this bar diameter half, right? So lateral ties are of 8 mm diameter, right? So minus 8 by 2 and minus 8 by 2. So totally it will be what? It will be what? It will be minus 8. If you add this, it will be minus 8. So 300 mm is the overall. So that is what we have written here. Minus 40 mm cover on each side. So 40 mm cover for column. Okay, for column we have assumed the cover of 40 mm. So 40 mm here, 40 mm here, and then minus 8 by 2 and minus 8 by 2. That is your lateral tie diameter. So you will get A length as 212, and since this is also 300, this is also 300. So this B length will also, it will be also same. Okay, A is equal to B. A is equal to B. Then hook length, right? Hook length we need to add. So this is 75 mm and this is 75 mm. So 2 into 75 mm plus 2 times A plus B. So the overall length of your lateral tie, what we get is almost, it is 1 meter. You can observe it is almost equal to 1 meter length of your lateral tie. So now the last thing what we need to calculate in reinforcement is number of lateral ties required, number of lateral ties or the number of links. So I've told you the length that we need to consider, right? I've told you how much length we need to consider, and then that divided by the spacing of your lateral ties, that is 250 mm plus 1, and if you do that, you will get the number of links required as 19 number of links are required. So I will show you the length that you required. I have shown you the length. You have to start from here and you have to end over here, right? That is the length divided by the spacing, that is 250 mm spacing plus 1. You will get the number of lateral ties as 19 number of lateral ties you will get. So now we are done with the calculation of reinforcement. Then the next thing we need to calculate is the concrete quantity, right? Concrete quantity we need to calculate. So in square portion of column, okay, in the square portion of column, that is this cross section, we have some concrete of this column, right? So it is 300 by 300, right? Into this height of your column, right? Height of your column. Okay. So what they have done over here is square portion of the column. So length is equals to breadth, that is right minus this offset on each side. So let me show you which part they are considering over here, which part. So depth is 1.15 meter. So what part they have considered is, they have considered this straight part in your column. Yeah. So this part they have considered, you can observe. So they have divided your column footing into this box. Okay, this is a straight part which we will calculate separately, and then this trapezoid we will calculate separately. Okay, so now we are calculating this bottom part. Okay, we are calculating this bottom part. So the depth you can observe, it is 150 mm, right? 150 mm, and the length, okay, length of this is what? It is 1200 minus this 150 over here and minus 150 over here. Minus 150, you will get the length, and the depth you can observe, it is 150 mm. So we have covered this bottom part. Now we need to cover this part, which is your top part, or this is like a trapezoid, right? So how we calculate for that, we will look. So this quantity I have told you we have calculated for your bottom part, and now your trapezoidal part. So the height of your trapezoidal is how much? The height of this trapezoid, right? Height of this trapezoid is it is 0.6. You can observe in the figure, it is 0.6 meter. Okay. Then we will divide the trapezoid into different parts. Okay, we will divide it like this. Okay, so this is your top view. So this is your A1. Okay, this is your A1, which is your concrete column, and then this is your A2. Okay, this is your A2. So A1 I've told you is the they have mentioned it reverse, I think. So A1 we will consider the area of the bottom, and A2 we will consider the area of the top. So area of the bottom is this thing, right? It is this thing. So it is 1200 minus 150 minus 150. So it is 0.9. So A1 is 0.9, and A2 is this column, that is 0.3 into 0.3. So it is 0.09 meter squared, 0.09 meter squared. So A1 into A2 we have calculated. Now we will calculate the area at middle, okay, area at middle or the average thing. So A1 plus A2 by 2, A1 plus A2 by 2, we have calculated A1, we have calculated A2. We will take average and we will write that as middle or mean, okay, AM. So why do we calculate this AM? Because we have to substitute it over here, okay, in this formula. In this formula we have AM. So now we have calculated A, we have calculated A2, and we have calculated AM, and the height of this, right, height of this is 0.6, right, 0.6. So now we can substitute all of this, right, we can substitute all of this, that is H by 6, A1 plus A2 plus 4 into AM. So we get the quantity of concrete, right, we get the quantity of concrete in the trapezoidal section as 0.27. Okay. So now the total quantity for footing, right? It will be the box section, right? It is this trapezoidal section plus this box section, which we have calculated separately. And this is made up of M20 concrete, right? And this is your column, right? So they have asked us only to calculate the quantity of M20 concrete. And because of that, we will not consider this PCC, okay? We will not consider this PCC because it is not made up of M20 concrete. Okay, PCC in the sense it is plain cement concrete, oh, it is not M20. So we have calculated for column, we have calculated for this, and we have calculated for this. So that is done. So area of concrete, then for column, right, for column we have to calculate. So height of column is 3 meters, right, height of column is 3 meters. And the dimension, right, the dimension it is 0.3 by 0.3 is the column size, and the length of your column is from here, okay, it is from here, and this is your ground level going up to roof, okay, going up to roof, that is your bottom part of your beam. So this is your beam, you have to go up to bottom part of your beam. This is 3 meters, and this is how much? This is 0.6, I guess, right? Okay, so this is 0.6, so 3 meters your floor to floor height plus this 0.6 from here to here, it is 0.6. So that 0.6 you need to add. So you'll get the length. And then this is the cross section, which is a square, right? 0.3 by 0.3. And if you multiply length into breadth into depth, you will get the total quantity of concrete in column. So the total quantity of concrete, that is M20 concrete in footing, right? In footing and column, you need to add both of them. You will get the total quantity of concrete in footing as well as your column. So we are done with all of the things. Now the last thing that we are left out with is the preparation of the table, right? Only mention the reinforcement over here. Do not mention the concrete quantities over here. So in the footing, right, we have 12 mm diameter bars at 120 mm center to center in both the ways, right? So our table is a bit lesser in size because if we had a different reinforcement in different directions, we would have mentioned them separately, and then the table would have increased in size. So since they are same in both the ways, we can mention them in a same row we can mention. So the diameter is 12. The number of bars that is required is 16. That is 8 mm in 8 number of bars in each direction. So totally 16 number of bars in both the directions. So the length we had calculated is 0.9 meters. So the weight per meter, we know it is 0.89. So multiplying number into length into weight, we will get the quantity in kg. So that was for your footing. Now moving on to your column reinforcement. So your longitudinal reinforcement bars were 4 in number, right? 4 at each corner. And the diameter of your bar was 20 mm. So the length which we had calculated was 5 meter, right? 5 meter, if you remember. So 20 into 4 sorry, no, not 20, you have to multiply 4 into 5 into weight per meter, you will get the quantity, okay, in kgs. So the last thing we are left out with is the links, okay, lateral ties. So number we had calculated was 19, right? 19 number of lateral ties are required. Length of each tie I have told you is almost equal to 1 meter, right? Number into length into weight per meter, you will get the quantity in kgs. So we have prepared the bar bending schedule for your column and footing reinforcement. So the total quantity of steel required, you can observe it is almost equal to 70 kilos, 70 kilos. So this is regarding your numerical. So if you have any doubts, you are free to ask. You can unmute and you can ask, or you can type in chat. So I think with this, we are done with the first module. We are done with the first module. And if you have any doubts regarding any of the things in the first module, you can let me know over here, or you can let me know in the group, and I shall get back to you. So with this, we are done with first module. So in the first module, we have covered the basics of your estimation, right? What are quantity serving? What do you mean by quantity serving? Then the different types of estimate we have looked into, right? Different types of estimate I have told you. Then after that, different terminologies that we will be using I have discussed. And after that, we have looked into your the detailed estimate calculation, right? For single room, for double room, then for residential buildings, then for some RCC framed structure we have solved. And all of those we have solved using long wall and short wall method. Okay, you have learned two methods of calculating quantities, that is long wall and short wall. So if you require any extra numericals to be solved, so let me know. I will solve extra numericals. Also, I will provide you some numericals to be solved on your own for practice. Okay, so the more you solve, the more perfect you become. So practice the numericals by solving, because all of your exams are in offline mode. So do practice. And if you have any doubts, you are free to ask anytime. So after that, we have looked into your RCC steel calculation, right? RCC steel calculation. We have looked into calculation of steel in beams, then steel in columns, then in footings, and then for slabs, right? For slabs. All of this we have covered. So I hope after this you are able to give a detailed estimate for any of your building, residential, or it may be a unique building, right? If it is a load bearing structure or if it is a RCC structure, I hope you are able to prepare a detailed estimate. Okay. So estimate is never right or wrong. Okay. It depends upon the engineer or the person who is preparing the estimate, whether how much detail you are going into, whether you are preparing in detail or whether you are preparing just like an abstract, right? So estimate is never right or wrong, but the main thing that you need to consider is the number of junctions, right? In your center line method, wherein if you go wrong while calculating the center lines, or whether if you go wrong during calculation of your number of junctions, then your entire thing will be wrong. So make sure do not make a mistakes while solving your problem in the initial stage, right? When calculating of your center lines, or whether calculating your number of long walls, number of short walls, right? And number of junctions. Do not make a mistake in the initial stage, or else our entire numerical will go wrong. Okay. So if you have any okay, so with this we are done with the first module. So regarding any of the things in the first module, if you have, I am reminding you, please let me know. I will try to clear our doubts. Okay. So with this, we are done with the first module. So you can start typing in our attendance. Start typing in your attendance. Along with that, if you have any doubts, you can let me know. So one thing I would like to mention again and again, that you need to practice. Without practice, these numericals are very tough to solve. So make sure you practice a lot. I will give you a lot of practice problems. Do solve them, and then it will be very easy for you to solve in exam, because in exam you will not have much time, right? Your estimation, you need to prepare at least minimum maximum in at least 15 minutes. Maximum you can go up to 20 minutes. Over that, if you go, you will face a shortage of time for other modules. So practice is required so that you solve your numerical in time, right? If you do not practice, your time that you require in exam, it will be more. So practice is important regarding the first module and as well as the second module. Okay. So I hope everyone has typed in their attendance.